Welcome back, everyone. My name is Stephanie Brown. I'm a photographer and installation artist. In our last session, we talked about how do you know that you're ready for a solo exhibition? And now that you know that you're ready, or maybe you're not ready, we are going to dive into the benefits of having a solo exhibition in the first place. So we're joined here, of course, with curator Jessica Bethel. So we're actually going to provide both perspectives. What are the benefits of a solo exhibition as an independent artist, and the benefits for an independent curator as well? That's, she's out here trying to make a name for herself.
Yep, trying.
So what are some of those initial benefits? I know for me personally, I came to you, right, with this desire. I knew that I was ready for a solo exhibition, and I knew that I wanted to do that in LA. Jess had been in LA for a little bit already, so reached out to her. I'm at the point in my career where I'm really going to benefit from a solo exhibition to spotlight a full body of work. Group exhibitions, you don't get an opportunity to showcase a full body of work. So when we're doing that storytelling through our artwork, in a group show, you're really just seeing a snippet, like one page of your full portfolio. And a solo exhibition really demonstrates the breadth and width of an artist. And it also demonstrates your ability to fully tell a story, communicate ideas and concepts through several pieces of work. And not just in the artwork itself, but in the display of those artworks too. The hope would be that we get some good press, right? So from a solo exhibition, ideally, just like a play or a new movie coming out, you think about the critics coming out and having commentary. You think about other curators seeing the work and getting ideas for shows or things that they might want to include you on. And it's also an opportunity to build deeper community with existing collectors or people who know about your work. In my case, for this scenario, it's about expanding my network. I don't live in LA. I'm slowly but surely building a community out there in the art world. So this is another opportunity for people to dive deeper and get to know me as an artist.
Yeah, I think the benefits as a curator for me personally, as somebody that is stepping into this world outside of photography as a practicing photographer and doing photography for so long, as well as seeing that I have a passion for curating, I've had opportunities to curate as a duo with a friend for previous group exhibitions, but it was very special to do this with Stephanie, as well as we're both trying to pivot, right? And I think this opportunity would propel me to take that next step that probably if I was still looking for opportunities as a curatorial assistant or just as a curator in general with museums, galleries, they probably wouldn't take me as seriously. So showing that, hey, I did a curated solo exhibition with an established artist. I brought her into LA. I introduced her to a new market. I sought out the venue, all the things that I put into curating and making a whole experience for people as a curator really does show oh, she knows what she's talking about. This is very helpful because I think even talking with different curators, all of them have different experiences on how they got into curating, honestly and truly. There's no streamlined pathway of how to get into curating, similar to how there's no straightforward pathway to get into art, right? So it's the same with curating. It's literally you're trying to carve out your own pathway. So if you feel confident in that you can curate a great experience, guide an artist through this in their career, as well as introducing them to a new market together, especially if it's like a friend, like me and Stephanie have known each other for years, I think it was just a no-brainer to be like, hey, I know a couple things. Let me see what I can do here, right? And so I think that's the benefit of doing a curated solo exhibition as a curator, because like I said, trying to get into the more traditional ways of curating can be it can be hard. You know how it is as also just as an artist as well.
Yeah.
It's hard just to get into the more traditional paths of like we probably both dream of being in a museum of sorts and showing our work there, but it's just hard to do that, right?
I
So I
think
think
so much
there's
of what we're building in our entire careers is about forging your own path, right? Building
Mhm,
those doors. And this is just another example of that. As
mhm,
we network and as you network with other artists and people in your industry, make sure you've got curators in your Rolodex,
mhm,
not just established curators, but also emerging curators like Jess.
mhm,
So, as I was thinking about doing the solo exhibition, I'm thinking about who in my circle is
mhm,
trying to, elevate themselves as a curator, who's starting to get into curation. This is where people, whether they're in your same age group or in similar stages career wise,
mhm.
I love a good glow up,
Yeah, yeah.
So everyone's always interested in like who discovered who, but
Mhm.
also it's the people that grew up together.
Yes.
It's the people, whether you went to school with that person or you're in a similar age group or you came out of the same community or same type of clubs or associations, those are your peers that you all can leverage opportunities together. A lot of the exhibitions that I've been in Atlanta are
Mhm,
through my relationship with other artists who have become curators down the line.
mhm,
They have a deeper relationship with my work. So it's such a beautiful, like, win-win opportunity. And I definitely want to make sure that I include that you all should definitely be including these things on your CVs and your resumes, right?
mhm,
Especially when you're working with curators of notes or curators that are well on their way. I make it a point to actually note on my CV, I'll have the name of the exhibition, the gallery that it was at, and who it was curated by. Because you
mhm,
never know, as again, like it's beneficial for both sides, right? So
mhm,
on Jess's CV, someone might recognize my name and be like, "Oh, you curated a show of Stephanie Brown," and the other way
mhm.
around. Someone might look at my CV one day and be like, "Oh, wow, Jessica Bethel, really? She curated one of your shows?" Yeah, she did. My very first solo exhibition in LA.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
all of those things build notoriety. It might not mean a lot right now. Um, honestly, it's like we need to be moving as if it's already a big deal.
Yes,
Like
exactly,
you essentially
exactly.
have to gas yourself up. You have to
Mhm,
know that you are worthy of these things. You have to be confident about like where you're going and that you know what you're doing and that the people that you're working with,
mhm.
you all are just going to glow up together, you
Yeah,
know?
that's
So
the
whether
beauty.
it means a lot now really doesn't
Mhm,
matter. It's the confidence that you know that you're all going somewhere, right? Jess
mhm.
is on a path, I'm on a path, and we can work really hard together to help each other get there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the beauty of it all and, like, the journey is, like, coming up together, like, to think where we came from to where we are now in 2 different cities, doing the things, and I think about even what's a full circle moment for me is, like, when I graduated I think I've told you this a while ago. When I graduated, I didn't know what was happening, first of all. Because they like, like when you're in art school, they kind of tell you things, but especially for my school, they weren't as guiding as much as possible. And I was applying to a lot of curatorial things, thinking like, okay, I have this art degree, I can make my way in, I have an art history background, like I can make
Mhm.
my way in there. And I'm applying to the MoMA, I'm applying to everything, just doing everything. And I'm like, wow, like thinking back at it is like, wow, we're here. And we sometimes think small about what we're doing, like, oh yeah, I'm just doing a little exhibition or I'm just doing this. Like, no, we're doing something really, really big at a large
Yeah.
scale. And especially for you coming into the city and for me only being here 4 going on 5 years, to do something this monumental is like a really big deal as 2 Black women, right? And we just think small of it like, we got something else to do after this, right? But no, like, let's live in the moment of like how big it is to plan your own solo exhibition, fully funded by you, fully like pretty much everything that you're doing in this exhibition is you.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah. From the ground up.
stand in it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, for sure. Okay, so let's recap for the people. So key
Yeah.
benefits of having a solo exhibition. Just chime in if I forget. All right, so we're expanding your network,
Yes. Yeah.
introducing yourself to a new city or network or community of people.
Mhm.
It's because you're ready for one,
Yeah.
as we
Mhm.
talked about in the last one. It's going to get to a point in your career where the group exhibitions aren't going to cut it anymore. You need
Yeah.
more solo exhibitions underneath your belt to demonstrate your ability to stand on your own,
Mhm.
stand on your own conceptually and as an artist with a full body of work. Um, your other benefits is forging your own path, right?
Yeah.
So the solo exhibition can come through applications, right? Jess and I have the receipts, y'all.
Yes.
We have applied. We have applied this exhibition and so many
Yes.
others. Highly recommend people to apply. When you see calls for solo
Mhm.
exhibitions, do it. I had
Mhm.
my first solo exhibition in Atlanta thanks to a call that was done in Hateville. Shout out to Cat Eye Creative.
Yeah.
So the calls work and they're definitely a great resource. The point of this series and us chatting with you in the first place is just to empower you that these are the benefits. And if you know that you're ready for it, yes, apply. And now you have the tools and the resources to do it yourself,
Mhm.
self fund your own solo exhibition. I think it's important that we do both things. We've applied to grants and all types of things through this entire process. This is a couple years in the making to
Yeah.
do this solo exhibition. And at the end of the day, we were also prepared to self fund it and to do it anyway. So
Yep.
if help comes, if a place picks up your exhibition idea, amazing. That's just another location. But
Mhm.
I hope that this information empowers you to also do it yourself because that's just kind of the name of the game as an artist. We can ask for assistance, we can ask for help, but we also need to know how to really just step up
Yeah.
and do it for ourselves because we know we're deserving of it, we know we're worthy for it, and we know that we're ready. And the
Yep.
benefits will definitely outweigh everything else.
Absolutely. You're forging your own pathway at the end of the day. And that's the beauty of it. You can say, hey, I'm kind of self made. And you are. And that's what it is.